الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وصحبه وأزواجه أجمعين أما بعد. Did you hear the good news? I hope it's good. The Jews are abandoning their hero, Joe Biden. One after another calling on him to step down, allow somebody with to be president or to run for president actually instead of him. After all what he did for you, come on. 50,000 people in Gaza were killed with open support from Joe Biden and his Jewish homosexual administration. Half of them Jews, maybe, and half of them homosexuals. And this is how you pay him back for his favors. Today, Adam Schiff, who is a prominent Jewish member of Congress in the House, called on Biden to step aside, allow somebody else to run for president, because he's worried about his seat in California. And this man said nothing about the genocide in Gaza and the West Bank, mainly Gaza. So they said, thank you very much. Next. Is this the topic of the video today? No, I just wanted to give you some good news. Now, what's the topic today? Dealing with Dawah in the West that started for me, walillah alhamd, in 1979 until today, walillah alhamd. By the way, counted the books, and they are more than 70 that Allah blessed us, me and my family, to produce over the years, 70. So we concentrate on the da'wah in the West. All the books are in English and booklets, tens of thousands of articles. My website is islamlife.com, islamlife.com. And here is the topic. Soon after 9/11, and I'm not talking about that emergency number, they just said 9/11, now they know what 9/11 is 9/11. So they were interviewing, especially the BBC, interviewing Muslims in Britain to ask them about what happened, about, the religion. And I remember they interviewed the BBC, a young Muslim man. He said, I am a Muslim. He had long, nice hair, and he kept moving his head this way, so the hair can go, with it, right and left. No beard, no shanab. He said, I'm a Muslim, but I will not fight for my religion, and I will not die for my religion. I will not fight for my religion. I will not die for my religion. A lot of people we are trying to call them to Islam in the West who are Muslim, call them either back to Islam or to the knowledge of Islam. They behave this way. Did I mention before in some videos about who's controlling the masajid in America at a minimum? Communists. The house of Allah, where you should rule by what Allah has revealed, is managed and run by someone who doesn't have knowledge in what Allah has revealed, except a little. And they are bringing the type of people that I'm talking about today. They're Muslim, they practice the religion, but they're standing on the edge. If they are confronted by things in life that they like and what the Quran and Sunnah call them to, many of them take what they like. The religion is just a slogan, an ID that somebody carries, and so many of them don't have beards or shanab, the beardless ummah. They, and I'm talking here about the general public that goes to the masajid. It's very tough to teach them anything. I've seen people who attended our classes for a long time and other masajid, nothing is happening. It's not affecting their life. The way they dress, the way they talk, the way they deal with things in their life, their pocket, their statements, their clothes. And it's astonishing that you go to a masjid where you learn, hopefully, many things, but you go and come back like you went. No change. So they are, and this is, I can't believe that this is accurate, but that's what they're saying, that they actually asked a large number of Muslims in the West about how they designate their status in Islam, and they're saying that they are secularist. These are the people we're having trouble with in the masajid of Allah, whether the community or the leaders, except a few of them. May Allah increase them. So they're producing people who don't have a real tie connection to Islam. They go to the masajid, they listen to many things, they're not changing. And if they are confronted with things in life, so many of them don't ask, so many of them don't care to know if Allah allowed them to do what they're thinking of doing or not. It's just they go and do it. And I'm reminded it doesn't make any difference. And I'm talking here about 45 years of doing da'wah in the West. By the way, when you go to islamlife.com, can you send some donations so we can continue making da'wah? I finished completely one of the 9 books that we made bi'idhnillah azza wa jal since Ramadan, by Allah's help, alillahi alhamd, and working on the others. Soon we'll publish them one after another. So donate. I've been dealing with this for 45 years in the West, except a few years when I stayed in other countries, but mainly this is the kind of attitude we have, that Islam is just a slogan, an ID, something that people say. When put to the test, many things they choose, their desires, what they like. Many of them are ignorant in their religion. Okay, these are better off than those who hear what they're supposed to do and still choose to do what Allah did not allow them to do, or what there is no halal for them to do in so many areas in life. And we mentioned the pocket, the eyes, the statements, the behavior, acts of worship. So they're just passive. Yes, they are, like this person. And I wanted to tell you, brothers and sisters, we face so many of this. It's really disgusting. I am a Muslim. I would not fight for my religion. I would not die for my religion. Really? So if a group of people caught you on the street of, let's say, we're talking about the UK here, Birmingham, that Trump called this is, there is Sharia is being practiced in Birmingham, Britain. I've been there. I haven't seen it. And then a few people there caught up with you and told you, hey, you look like them Muslimic. Uh, we will, we want to fight with you, or you leave your religion. Who's more worthy of saying to them, hey, what religion would you like me to follow? A person who says, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. If I go back to Allah and you commit aggression against me, you're the ones who are losing. I'm not losing anything. I stand up behind my religion. I'm not going to lose it for a little test here and there. A person who says, I wouldn't fight for my religion, I wouldn't die for my religion, means what? When he's put to the, and people like him, put to the test, leave your religion, or he says, give me the or, and give me options there, even, whatever you like. I have seen videos from India where the Hindus caught up with some Muslims, some young Muslims. La ilaha illallah. And they tell them, believe in Rama, cows, maybe rats. I didn't hear it yet because, the Hindus, they worship rats. Rats, R-A-T, Firan. And he says, no. I saw a video. I'm not going to tell you the details. They're horrific. He says, no. La ilaha illallah. They killed them. Killed so many of them. This is the kind of Muslim we need. You see, you will live the life Allah designated for you based on the choices you will make. Then the life will end. Then you are going back to your maker, to Allah. So if you escape from sacrificing anything for your religion in this life, how are you going to escape from the punishment of Allah on the Day of Judgment? What's the connection? I have seen this kind of attitude, so many Muslims. They're willing to not listen to the religion when they're confronted by threat of violence, like in this case, that it didn't even happen to this guy with the fluffy hair. Didn't happen. Nobody threatened him. He's telling you up front, hey, I'm a Muslim, but if you tell me we'll beat you up, I'll tell you, give me the religion you would like me to be in. I've seen people who wouldn't change. They go for years and years and years. It's the same thing, the same boring personality, boring stuff. Nothing changes, nothing happens. They don't make the effort to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they're confronted with, like I said, violence, things they like, things that they lust for, their desires, what else? Or an opinion. So many times I heard people, I tell them, Allah said in the Quran, He says, well, I think. No, you can't think. You surely, certainly can't think. You're opposing Allah's statement with your thought, I think, to oppose the Quran. And Muslims today, they're complaining all the time. What's happening to us? What's happening? All these disasters, all these troubles, all these things that are happening all around us. Well, didn't Allah say in the Quran, وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ وَيَعْفُو عَنْ كَثِيرٍ. Allah is telling us all in His Quran, whatever disaster that touches you, فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ is because of what your hands have earned. وَيَعْفُو عَنْ كَثِيرٍ, and He pardons much. Thank you, Allah. He pardons much. Look at the trouble we're facing with this kind of attitude that is prevalent among Muslims. The Islam is something to them. It's a slogan. It's a card, an ID that they tell you, I'm a Muslim. But they're not willing to change their lifestyles, their behavior, their statements, the way they're dressed. Wearing a beard in the West, nobody can call you any kind of anything, some areas, except if you're in the French area, French, then they might cause you trouble. Keep the beard anyway. Allah will help you, but this attitude we face so many times in the masajid, in the masajid, in the masajid. I'm not talking about people who don't come to the masajid, people who don't pray, those who go to the masajid. How can you go to a masjid for 5-10 years, and after 10 years, if I meet you, you're still the same person who used to be 5-10 years ago? No change. Of course, the ummah is not finished. It's not done with. It's not destroyed, as some of those Islamist groups keep saying. The ummah is done, destroyed, gone, finished. Well, no, the ummah has tremendous goodness in it. But there is a lot of competition from this kind of people who are passive. They're passive. They are passive. Islam is just a slogan, a culture, a social club that, people set their own rulings. And then what do you expect? When you die, go back to Allah, because you will die, like everyone. If Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the best man of all time, he died, you think you're going to escape death? Then how are you going to meet Allah? La ilaha illallah. Subhanallah. Okay. Remember us, brothers and sisters, in your dua, and the Ummah of Muhammad. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring the best to the Ummah of Muhammad. And inshallah, whenever you go to the website, make donations. We need some equipment, we need laptops. I can't afford that. I've been doing so much, and Jazakum Allahu khairan. If you even make a dua, that would be great. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala al-mab'uthi rahmatan lil alamin.